Hello, good evening. My name is Jake Miller. I am in the 18 to 19 Business Communications online course. Today, I will be giving an oral briefing speech. This oral briefing speech will explain to you why I love the company Apple and why I would love to work for them. In early 2015, Apple became the first ever company to become a $700 billion corporation. More recently, Apple overtook Google as the most valuable brand in the world. Now, on October 13th, 2006, Apple announced a special edition of their iPod Nano, the Product Red. This Product Red was just like all the other iPod Nanos, except Apple is going to donate $10 of each product sold to starving kids in Africa, whether it was to build schools or build homes for them. All that money was going to those kids. The iPod Nano Product Red was the first iPod that I ever owned. It was a gift to me for my birthday, and I received it back in 2006, about right around the time it came out. Apple is a powerful company that has a big hand in the innovation of technology that will impact our future. Today, I will talk about why I love the company Apple and explain to you why I would love to work for them. I will go over the history and background of Apple Incorporated. I will talk about why I'm passionate about them, and I'll also talk about how it's possible for me to obtain a career opportunity sometime in the future. Now I'll start to talk about the history and some facts behind Apple. Apple Incorporated has existed as a company since April 1st, 1976, and they have been a powerhouse when creating new technology for the past 40 years. The Apple Computer Company was founded in a residential garage by Steve Jobs and Stephen Wozniak. They were both college dropouts. There's also a third co-founder, but 2 months into the project, he sold his shares for about $800. Now today, that would be worth a few $1 billion. In 1977, Apple produced the first personal computer to reach the mass market, and it was sold for about $1,300. In 1999, Apple released the iBook, which had a featuring option called the Airport Card. Now, this Airport Card really started the use of Wi-Fi in different industries all throughout the nation. In 2003, Apple Incorporated opened iTunes. Most people are familiar with iTunes. It started, and it only contained about 200,000 tracks, and each track started out at only about 99 cents each. Now today, they claim to have over 23 million tracks, and prices have gone up to about $1.30. Apple is a massive company, and they stretch all across the world. And they have stores in 486 locations in 19 different countries. And just within the United States, they claim to have over 66,000 employees. Next, I will talk about why I'm intrigued to work for Apple. I'm a huge fan of Apple Incorporated and their mindset to create the best computers and software that they can make. Consistently, Apple ranks the #1 computer vendor from a Consumer Report consumer survey. This company values its customers and takes exemplary care either by over the computer, over the phone, or face-to-face interaction in the store. I believe it is important for any company to put their customers first. That is how a company gains its customers and how it keeps their customers, as well as keeps their brand growing. Apple does a great job of changing things up. It's too much to get stuck with just one mindset. They have a great way of taking different ideas and changing things. That way, nothing gets too old. They always are looking to innovate and make new things. Often they'll take an idea, evaluate them, turn it into a new idea, and then make their own change. Having high standards is important to me, and I feel that Apple is all about having extremely high standards, not settling for one thing when they know that they can improve and be better than before. Every time I've walked into an Apple store, I'm quickly confronted by an Apple sales associate or employee asking what my situation is and how they can help. As soon as I tell them what my situation is, they are quick to put me on a list and get me situated with the right person to help me service whatever my need is. Also, while working at Apple, I've read that employees receive incredible discounts when purchasing products. They get paid very well, and the store is a great, fun work environment. That's something that is important to me. I don't want to be bored when working or at my job. I also like interacting with people, and I feel that working as a sales associate or at a retail store would be a great first start for me to work at Apple Incorporated. Lastly, I will discuss how I can obtain a job at Apple and where I would want to work within the company. Obtaining a job at Apple would be a dream come true for me. I feel that being a UC student will allow me to have a greater opportunity to get a job. While being at UC, I've attended multiple career fairs, and at these career fairs, I've seen Apple booths set up at both of them. Now, I'm a sophomore this year, but next year I'll be a junior, and that is a more age-appropriate sort of way that they look for students. They don't want someone that's too young, that's still involved in certain aspects of just getting into college. They want a more evolved college student. I think that being a junior and then taking a well-written resume to one of their sales booths would really allow me to have a greater opportunity to get a job or a position with a local retail store. I'm also interested in traveling. I feel that if I work at Apple for long enough, I could eventually move into their corporate offices. That was where I would prefer to be in as a career-seeking adult. I love to travel. I love to get out of the country and see new places, and I feel that Apple, with having locations in 19 different countries, would definitely be able to find a spot for me. I'm interested in marketing. That's my degree, so if I was to end up in the corporate field, I would want to work in the marketing section. I know right now they have job openings for marketing people in Sydney, Australia. That would be incredible, just to work there for a small portion of my life and then maybe move on and find different things that interest me. In conclusion, these were some of the reasons why that I love Apple and why I would love to work for them. Today I talked about Apple. I gave a brief history about them. I talked about what I'm interested about the company, and I've also talked about how it's possible for me to obtain a job there. Although most people already know about Apple Incorporated, I hope that you're more interested about the company and their creative ways of doing business, just like I am. Thank you.